This is a short exercise in making birds out of plastic milk bottles. Firstly, take your scissors and pierce the bottle. Once you've made the incision, cut round the lip, which is the base of the bottle, until you've got a final cut mark, and you can cut off what might become a soap dish or something to put your PVA glue in, whatever you like. Place that to one side, and then we're going to mark on the cut marks to actually cut the shape of the bird. So I like to use a sharpie, draw some cut marks, and then round into the middle of where the milk would be poured, and we'll do that on both sides. So make sure that you're mirroring one side to the other, round to the middle. And then we're going to do underneath for the shape that we'll cut out for the wings. So round to the middle, and again mirror the other side. So it's an arc round to the underneath point, and then once those two match up, we are pretty much set. So not many lines to draw, just those one down the middle, cut round for the neck, and then we'll pick up the scissors again and we'll cut down to that point where the first dot was drawn on. And once we've reached that point, we don't cut all the way down, we'll then cut round both sides. And once we've got round to the middle, can be a bit fiddly this bit, so you might need to direct smaller children to do this. Keep the scissors pointing round to create as much of a circular cut as you can, and then round into the middle. And that is going to be our beak, which we can then push through, and you'll see that you can shape it with your fingers into a beak, and you might want to decorate those. I've got some yellow sticky notes there which I stick on sometimes, and put some googly eyes on, always goes down well with the little ones. And then we can open out the wings, so you can just shape these with your fingers. It's the great thing about using these bottles, they're nice and malleable. You can just literally fold them over, shape them, and then you can see your dotted line marks for where we're going to cut out the end part that will then enable us to create feathers into the tail, if you like. So again, it's just cutting an arc shape round. Leave about a 2 centimetre tail, I would suggest, at the end, and cut round again. This one's a little bit bigger, but you can always shape it again, trim it afterwards. But get those arcs roughly mirroring each other, and you'll have a decent shape. And that is essentially the main shape of the bird. Now from here, I always like to shape the wings a little bit further, so cutting off those harsh edges, it is literally just following a line round, and do that on both sides, make a nice curve, and that just gives them a more pleasing shape. You can do whatever you like from this point really in terms of customizing the birds. Now you've got the main shape. So from here you could stop there, or you might want to insert or stick on material at this point for feathers. I'm just going to cut some lines to make tail feathers on this one. So I'm just inserting from the bottom, and the key to it really is just again mirroring what you do one side, make sure you do the other side as well. And so in this case I'm just cutting some tail feathers, and I'm going to cut some lines into the wings as well to give them a little bit more definition. You'll see that in just a moment. So all the scrap pieces I just put to one side, and then you can recycle all of those, obviously, being milk bottles. And so there we are. That's pretty much the shape of the bird. The tail and the wings, I mean, you can do these however you like. I just cut some lines in here, gives them a bit more definition, makes them look a bit more interesting. And so again, just mirroring the cuts one side to the other. So there's just a couple of lines here coming in from the point at the tip, and then another one about 1/2 centimetre in, and that will pretty much do it. So like I say, you might want to stick a beak on. Different schools have used different coloured post-it notes for beaks. You might want to stick some googly eyes on for fun. You might want to stick paper on for additional feathers using PVA, that kind of thing. So I'm just going to show you sticking a simple beak on here. Post-it notes are great for this because you can use the sticky bit to stick onto the beak itself, then just fold it flush and trim it off at the bottom. And there is a very simple bird.